Hey everyone, welcome to Deepika Makeup. Hope you all are doing super awesome. So yet another get ready with me video, and I'm going to use some new products in this video, and these are some products that I'm really excited to try. So let's start with this video. And yes, I got my haircut as I mentioned in my previous get ready with me video, but I got some recommendations, but I just went with my comfort zone. So as usual, I got a lot of layers and then side bangs. That's it, and I'm very happy with this length. I wish I could have gone a little more shorter, like maybe till here, but I already donated like 12 inches by then, so I just want to, you know, keep this length at the safe side. So first things first, I'm going to start with primer. First of all, this hair needs to go back, and I'm still figuring out how to style this short hair, but I got some requests on how I style this hair. So once I figure out the perfect way, I will definitely show you guys in a video. So first I'm going to start with primer. I'm using the Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. This is the Prep and Perfect, and they've actually sent me a few products to try out, and in the last video I tried out a few, and I'm actually really liking their products. So this one is a different kind of primer than the last video, and this is the Prep and Perfect, and I'm assuming this is going to be like a silicone based primer which is going to fill in the pores and stuff like that. So this one, while applying, it feels like a moisturizer, but it's definitely like a silicone based primer. You can feel that slip on the face. It has actually smoothened my skin, and also it has you know, filled out the pores in here. So and also it's not sticky or tacky, and I'm usually not a great fan of this kind of formula with primers. I like primers which are hydrating and which feels like a moisturizer when applied. So the primer is done, and I would definitely recommend the hydrate version than this one. And then I have been loving this ELF Hydrating Under Eye Primer. I've been using this for quite a long time, and for some time I completely forgot, but then again I'm actually really liking this. This does really make a difference in adding some hydration under the eyes, and also you know, filling out those fine lines. If you have like aging skin or fine lines, I would definitely recommend this one. This doesn't make the concealer look or feel dry, and I personally feel like it's another layer of eye cream under my eyes. So that is there. And then to the exciting one, I'm using the foundation from LANCOME, and this is the TEINT IDOLE Ultra Wear, and it has SPF 15, and the wear time is up to 24 hours, and it's transfer resistant and full coverage. I have it in the shade 410 Bisque. I had this foundation on my list for a long time, and LANCOME sent this for me to try out, and I was really excited. I actually used this once just to test out the formula, and I must say I really like it. Like, look at the shade. It's the perfect shade match for me, and I like this foundation applied with a sponge rather than a brush, because this is kind of like a dry formula. So with the brush, the application was slightly streaky, not too much, but you know, slightly streaky. But with a sponge, it's going really good, and the coverage is amazing. As you can see, it has covered my hyperpigmentation, and I'm actually going with a very thin layer, and this coverage is enough for me. If you noticed, I had some you know, darkness around my mouth. Especially I had a lot of acne breakouts last week because I ate a lot of junk, and it actually showed up right here. It took me about like 3 or 4 days to get rid of them, and I still had those dry patches, like the dry skin from applying tea tree oil, and I also had some blemishes. All of that is covered, and it's not showing the dry patches on my skin. which is what I really look forward in a foundation. So the coverage is really good, very natural finish, and it's not clinging on to dry patches, and it feels very light. It doesn't feel like I have a thick layer of foundation on my face, which is one of the important things. And also I want to say I left this foundation on my skin for about 6 hours, and it did not fade, it did not budge. So I'm actually just applying another layer just on this area, just to see if this builds up properly. And the second layer actually settled very well with the first layer, but then it didn't give me any additional coverage. So even if you like build up, you're not gonna get, you know, too much of coverage in that area. So that's the foundation, and I must say I want to give like full points for this foundation. When I had long hair, all I did was like put my hair up while I was doing my makeup, and that was very convenient. With this one, my hair is not going into like a full pony or a poof, so I'll have to just put my hair back, and it's actually bothering me right here. So moving on to under eyes, I don't really have any like new products to try out for my corrector and concealer, so I'm going to do the usual. So I'm just going to do it off camera. I'm using the Bobbi Brown color corrector in peach, and for my concealer I'm actually trying to use up my Maybelline Fit Me. I only have a little bit of this left, so I'm going to apply this one, and I'll be right back. So while I'm blending, so the concealer is on, and while I completely blend it, this is what the e.l.f. under eye primer does to me. I use the Bobbi Brown color corrector, and it actually creases almost immediately, and with the e.l.f. Primer it doesn't crease that easily, and I have some room to set it and make it look perfect. So that's the reason I really like the e.l.f. under eye primer. And I'm going to set everything with my usual Lakme Absolute Wet and Dry White Intense Wet and Dry compact powder, and I use it in this shade Honey Beige, and I get it from India, you guys. It's the best powder I ever used. It gives very good coverage, the undertone is perfect, and I actually got like 3 or 4 pots, so I don't have to miss it. So that's done, and moving on to bronzer. This is my current favorite bronzer. I want to say I'm going to use this bronzer up. I just love it. It looks very natural. It's a Physicians Formula Moro Moro Butter Bronzer, and I get it in the shade, and I have it in the shade Deep. Initially I thought this wouldn't show up on me, but it shows up, and it's very subtle and natural, and I don't really have to be like very precise while doing this. I just go like randomly, and it gives like the perfect warmth to my skin, and everybody says the smell is amazing. I'm usually not a great fan of scented makeup products, or in general even skincare products, but I like this scent. Okay, so the little claw clip wasn't doing for me, so I just put a headband, and now, so anyways, I'm applying a little more bronzer. I like the undertone of the foundation, you guys. It has blended so well into my skin. I really like this foundation. Okay, now moving on to some exciting products. From here on, I'm really excited for the products I'm going to use. So first, blush. I got this blush called Bella from Juvia's Place. This is their single blush. And look at the packaging, so cute. And if you are on my channel for a while, you know that corals are my favorite. I mean, I'm wearing a coral shirt right now. This is like a deep coral color, which I was really excited. And it's a matte blush, which is even more perfect. It is colorful and warm, so it's going to be beautiful for this time of the year. So I know Juvia's Place products are very pigmented, so I'm going to be very light-handed. Even though it's coral, it has a little bit of like that rusty color to it, and I really like it. Look at that. It has actually applied effortlessly, looks beautiful, and the color is just perfect for this time of the year. And for the quality and amount of product you get, it's just $8. So I would definitely recommend this one. And if you're working with Juvia's Place products, please be careful because these are heck pigmented, so just be very, very light-handed. Looks like I've applied too much blush, but no, in real it's good. I didn't apply too much. And for my highlighter, I have this new highlighter from Kevyn Aucoin. It's their Neo highlighter, and Kevyn Aucoin highlighter in Candlelight is my all-time favorite highlighter. I rave about that highlighter. I love it. So they came out with this Neo line. They have some blushes, and now they have a highlighter as well. And I was really excited to try this, and Kevyn Aucoin actually sent this to me. Thank you, Kevyn Aucoin. So that's that. The color actually looks very similar to the Candlelight, and I still have to test out the formula if there's any different, but just by looking at it I can tell that it's very similar to the Candlelight highlighter, which is my favorite. But this has some gold sheen in it, which is not as much in the Candlelight. So let's see. Kevyn Aucoin highlighters look very natural on the skin. They are not like in your face glowy glittery highlighters. They are one of those natural highlighters, and they just like melt into the skin like a butter, and this is no different. This is also blending into the skin so well, and it's looking very, very natural. You know what? Now that I have this LANCOME foundation for some time now, and it's actually setting into the skin, I would change my thought a little bit. It is actually clinging on to dry patches. I mean to say, it has settled into the skin, and once I applied the other products on my face, I feel like the foundation has actually lifted off along with them. So there is a little bit of lack in the coverage, definitely, and it's actually clinging on to dry patches like right here and right here. So it doesn't look exactly the same as how I applied. It's changing, and so let's see, once I finish up this video, let's see how I feel about it. Alright, so the highlighter is on. Again, one of those very, very natural highlighters from Kevyn Aucoin, and look at that size. It's a huge highlighter. This is in the shade Sahara. It's a golden rose glow, and this, after applying, I can tell that it's very different from the Candlelight. Candlelight is more subtle, like a pale champagne-ish color with a little bit of gold, but this one has some rose gold tones to it, and it has more gold. It's much more glowy than the Candlelight. It looks very similar in the pan, but on the skin it's not the same. So yeah, that's that. It's beautiful. I'm going to do my eyebrows and eye primer off camera. It's the usual drill. This is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Universal Brow Pencil and the Essence I Heart Stage eyeshadow base. I'm gonna put these on, and I'll be right back, and we'll move on to eyeshadow palette. I'm going to use the Anastasia Norvina palette. I'm excited, so I'll come back. Alright, for my eyes I'm using the Anastasia Norvina palette, and I played around with this palette a couple of times, but this is the first time I'm using this on camera. I created a couple of looks with this and I want to say I really like it. There are like a couple of shades that are not looking good on me, especially the shade Soul. So it's mostly like blending or a transition color for me, but rest all are amazing. I just love this palette, and I can just create a very simple neutralize, all matte, a little bit of shimmer. I can use a dash of purple here and there, and I like it. I really like this palette. So, and I did plan to get this, but I wasn't in a hurry to get it, but then I got it, the date got released because Ulta had like a very good promotion. So I'm going to take the shade Soul and I'm going to use this as my transition color. It does work, but as you can see, it's, I don't know, it looks kind of like, I thought it would be a little more softer, but it just had some like grayishness to it that doesn't really flatter much on me. But I had doubts if this shade would, you know, even show up on the skin, because a lot of formulas I have in this color, they don't even show up. So I had like, you know, this is the only shade I had doubts if this is going to work for me or not. But the formula is amazing. It's not like fully matte, it has like a dash of you know, pearlescence or, you know, shimmer in it. So that's there. As you can see, it has like a little bit of grayness to it, which I don't like. I wish it was like a little more softer. So and then for my eyebrows, I'm going to use the shade Base, not for my brows but basically under my eyebrows. I like that there is an option for a matte you know, brow bone highlight and also a shimmery brow bone highlight, because when I'm doing a all matte eye makeup, I prefer to use like a shimmery brow bone. This is like a completely different eye makeup for me. So I'm going to take that shimmery highlight and I'm just going to put it just right there, right at the top, and I'm going to blend this. Okay, in my crease I'm going to add Eccentric, and I'm also going to add Volatile. So these are going to be in my crease. So mainly I'm going to use Volatile to deepen up. This is like a complete mismatch of shades. If I put the shade Soul, you know, it almost demands me to use more of the purple tones in this palette than the neutrals. Soul actually doesn't really go with you know, all the shades in the palette. That's what I mean. We'll see, we'll see. It's an experiment. So I'm going to take Volatile and I'm going to just deepen up at the outer corner. Such an experimental shade. The more I add colors, the shade Soul is losing more of that periwinkle shade and showing up more gray. So yeah, that's the only shade that keeps bothering me in this palette. It's definitely that shade that you want to use whenever you're, you know, working with softer shadows. Or all over the lid, I'm going to use Rose Gold and a little bit of Wild Child, which is like that pink shimmery shade right at the center. Oh, look at that foilness. I just love it. A lot of the palettes which has this formula of eyeshadows, they actually demand to be applied with your finger, because that's how they get pressed properly onto the eyelid. But in this palette, as you can see, I'm just applying with a short shader brush, and it's working equally good as if you're applying with your finger or with a wet brush. You just don't have to do anything. You can just use your dry brush and they work equally good. That's what I really like in this palette. So I'm also going to bring that rose gold shade in the inner corner. Oh my god, this shade is just beautiful. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Wild Child and I'm going to add at the center of my eyelid. Such beautiful shades, such beautiful shades. The shimmers and also mattes are beautiful in this palette. Okay, to smudge under my lower lash line, I'm using the shade Passion because I want like a little more deeper, like, you know, warm shades, not deeper, like warm shades for my under eyes. With whatever the crease colors we applied, especially the volatile that we used to deepen up at the outer corner, is like a cool tone brown. So I need to do something to warm up my eye makeup because cool tone shadows, a complete cool tone eye makeup doesn't look good on me. So yeah, that works. Alright you guys, that's the eye makeup. I'm going to apply kohl pencil, liquid eyeliner, mascara, and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, finally lips. So this is my new favorite liquid lipstick and this is by Atomic Makeup and this is in the shade Lexington. This is a yellow based. If you are just bored of like those mauvish, pinkish, brownish nude shades, go for this one. This is such a unique nude shade and I'm absolutely loving this one. Initially when I saw this, I thought it's a completely out of box nude shade for me. I thought it would give me that grunge look, but no, I just love it. And this liquid lipstick formula is amazing. I'm gonna talk about the formula in a different video. I was sent some liquid lipsticks to try on, but that doesn't alter what I'm saying. I used to have some liquid lipsticks from Atomic Makeup and I love the formula. I was sent quite a few shades by Atomic Makeup, so I'm going to show all the swatches in a video for you guys. But this shade is definitely a standout. I'm just loving this shade. So yeah, that's Lexington. Such a beautiful shade, you guys. Every time I put it on, I just love this color more and more. So that completes the makeup look, and I want to say I really like how it came out. I should have not applied the shade Soul in my like as my transition shade. It's just not going with the rest of the makeup I have, but yeah, now that it's there, it's there. But I really like the lip color and also the eyeshadows. The blush is amazing, the highlighter is amazing. Now the foundation, I really like how it feels. I like the shade match, I like the undertone, I like that it's very natural and lightweight. But the coverage has actually toned down a little bit after it has set into my skin. So the building up is not going to give you much coverage because, as we noticed, even if I build up, it just blended into my previous layer. So this is going to be like a medium coverage foundation. It's not a light coverage, it's not a high coverage, but it's going to be like somewhere in between medium to high coverage foundation. So that's one thing that you have to keep in mind. It has actually toned down a little bit. It didn't completely cling on to dry patches, but it did cling on to dry patches after it has set down. So if you have like dry skin, or if your skin is not well hydrated, that's also going to make this foundation look a little worse. I should have used a hydrating primer to make this foundation work well, so I'm going to give that a try again. But using this silicone based primer didn't really go very well with the foundation. So And before we wrap up, you know the drill. Please hit on the thumbs up button, do comment below if you have any questions, and also subscribe to my channel along with clicking on the bell icon right beside it so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Doing all these will help me grow my channel. So please guys, if you like this video, please hit on the thumbs up button and also do comment. You can also follow me on my social media. I'm Deepika Makeup everywhere. I'm always online on my Instagram, so that's where you can instantly catch me if you have any question or if you have to talk to me. And that's it. I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye.